Thank you. Can you hear me? Is it working? Yeah. So the first thing I have to do is to apologize because I don't speak Dutch, so it's going to be in English. I'm sorry for that. I'd like to walk you through today a presentation about what we do in Honeywell Safety Products, and I will go through three different parts. One is about who we are, who is Honeywell. It's a big corporation, and I will try to guide you through some of the technologies we have at Honeywell. Then I want to talk about safety at work. Where do we see it going? What do we believe is going to happen in the future? And then go through some of the enablers. You know, what are the technologies, what are the enablers, the innovations that can take us to this vision? I have to take the pointer. Okay. So Honeywell is a large corporation. It's a Fortune 100 company. We have in Honeywell 4 large strategic business groups. And I will walk you through each one of them, not in detail, but really to give you a feel of the type of technologies we have in those groups. In total, we make $39 billion of revenue, and the smallest business group in Honeywell is called Transportation System. We make turbochargers for both commercial and trucks, vehicles, and we have turbochargers for both the gasoline and the diesel technologies. We also have a large portfolio of products for the friction materials, brake pads basically for automotive, railway equipment, and aerospace. We have as well a business group called Specialty Material or Performance Material. We make a lot of technologies in there. You will find refrigerants for your cars, for instance, for the air conditioning systems. You will find as well a lot of packaging solutions that could come from electronic components, LED components, pills for your medicine are made out of those packaging solutions. And we also make some specialty fibers. The picture on that slide talk about bulletproof vests, so we make that type of equipment as well. The third group, aerospace, very large, 31% of Honeywell, makes pretty much everything you can find in an airplane except the frame. We will make systems to help and guide the pilots from situational awareness to land and take off, landing, avoid collisions. We make all the autopilot systems, and we also make fuel-efficient engines and what we call auxiliary power units, what you find in the back of the plane. Last but not least, we have a large group called Automation and Control System, and this is where Honeywell Safety Product is, and I will talk more about this particular group right after that. The takeaway I wanted to give you from that slide is that there are a lot of technologies in Honeywell that I will show you we can leverage in the safety space. We, of course, are a technology-driven company. I will just give you a few examples of major technologies in Honeywell. For instance, there hasn't been any single human space mission going without Honeywell technology, so we are part of all the NASA programs. We've been boosting the engines of all the turbochargers for the race of the Lemon Race. For those of you who know automotive, we have used our turbochargers to win the Lemon Race for 10 years in a row. We have our biofuels who really enabled to go for the first transatlantic flight from the US to Europe. That was also a Honeywell technology. So there's a lot of innovation and deep technology in our company. We, of course, have lots of engineers. I'm one of them, just one out of 22,000. And we have a lot of capability in the company. In the automation control system business, this business is basically a group of 7 different units. I will not go through each of them one by one. The Honeywell Safety Products belong to the life safety business. Of course, it's a safety-related business. And most of what we do in this ACS group is related to security, comfort, productivity, etc. I will walk you through some of those technologies, not because I want to give you a feel of what the large Honeywell is, but because I want to show you some of the building blocks we are using today to build the future of the safety business. If I start with the first one on the top right, the Honeywell scanning and mobility business is a leader in all the barcode and RFID type of technologies, and that's obviously something we can leverage in the safety industry for all the asset tracking. If I move to the next one on the left, the Honeywell building solution is, as it says, bringing solutions to the building in terms of home comfort, temperature, humidity, and they are experts in bringing solutions, bringing software solutions in particular, and we will talk about this a bit more later in the presentation. We have a large building-related business called environmental control system, where we make, for instance, burner control system, gas valves, and what we can really leverage from that business today is all the safety-critical system like gas valves, where we have a lot of very critical mechanical and mechatronic systems that we use today. The security group, again, some technologies that we can leverage from video analytics, for instance, or from the access control system. We have the sensing and control business. We're using today inertial sensors for some of these technologies. And the process solution business, who's really a business driving control in very large plants, in very large oil and gas platforms. What we're leveraging from that business today is all the wireless solutions, as well as all the software solutions used to detect abnormal situations from a large number of data. I didn't talk about the Honeywell Life Safety. This is where we are as the Honeywell Safety product, and I'll give you a bit more information on this one. It's, as I said, ACS is the largest business group in Honeywell. Honeywell Life Safety is the largest business unit in ACS, and we, Honeywell Safety Products, are the largest in the largest of the largest. What we do in Honeywell Life Safety is a combination of multiple technologies. We have, in particular, fire systems, fire panels, annunciation systems, smoke detectors, flame detectors, touch points, gas detectors, etc. So there's a lot of technology in that business, but the one we are talking about today is the safety products business. It's a business of about $1.7 billion, and we offer a very large portfolio of head-to-toe PPE solutions. Just wanted to mention the fact that we have about 25 engineering centers in the world today, developing new PPE solutions, new PPE products, and we are launching about 100 new products per year. I would like to give you a feel of the types of products we do. Oh, there's a bug in this system. We have a very large portfolio and a very large offering. We cover what we call the head-to-toe solution, and I will show you a bit more in a video. So if you can start the video, please. Okay, thank you. So if you want to know more about that culture of safety, all the concepts, and have more material about this, I invite you to go to the booth, and there's more material there. What we see from that video is that already today we're looking at equipment, but as well training, solutions, services. Where is this going to take us? And that's the second piece of the presentation. I'd like to walk you through different drivers and different directions where we believe safety at work is going to go. What are the key trends we see in the market? First of all, we see that there are new threats coming. We are already today looking at nanotechnologies as one of the potential next threat and hazard for our workers. I think all the aspects related to repetitive strain injuries is going to grow. This is the next big issue. We're seeing more and more pandemics, but overall we're seeing more and more awareness about all these dangers, all these risks. We're also seeing that the world is changing. The world is going global. The world is going with global regulation, with global procurement, with new territories emerging that did not really care about safety in the past. And we're seeing really a consolidation of the industry, and we need to take that into account in every single place of the supply chain. We're seeing that behaviors evolve. We're seeing that the way our children look at technology, look at products is different from the way I looked at it or my parents looked at it. We're seeing people with different behaviors. First of all, safety is becoming more and more important, but also the behaviors in terms of buying equipment, in terms of selecting equipment, in terms of the user experience you have with the product you use. All of that is evolving, and we need to adapt to that. We're also seeing a lot of interest, especially in Europe, about managing waste and having the least impact on the environment. We're also seeing a push from innovation, new technologies, and there are new technologies every day all over the place. And you can see that as consumer today, but this is coming in the industry, usually at a slower pace, but this is coming. So I've talked about it, and we have a lot of these technologies in Honeywell, but these technologies can enable new things, new service, new solutions, and they can solve new needs. So we are here today protecting workers and trying to represent this in two axes. You can go from just doing protection into against the risk, into having more awareness about the risk you're exposed to, and having more prevention, making sure that the risk doesn't occur. And likewise, you have this direction of the culture where you can just wear PPE because you're a compliance guy or because it's really part of your blood. And the way we see it evolving is that most of the solutions on the market today are really focused on protecting workers, which is already very good. But there is more we can do to enrich and to make it more efficient. The first thing we can do is to enhance the protection level. And I will show you a few things where new materials, new technologies can make it more performant. We can also work on the user experience of the workers, on the perception they have and the comfort they feel. We can use technology to bring awareness about the risk. You are not only protected, but you know that the risk is here, and you can measure it. We can make PPE products that work better in extreme conditions. Most of the time, we look into PPE from a nominal condition point of view, et cetera, et cetera. And that will bring more awareness and more understanding about the risk and the hazards. And the next step would be to go more into the world of preventions, really being able to understand what are all the hazards that our workers are facing in a particular environment, managing the compliance, the training, the inspections, the incidents that they face, managing the dose of what they are exposed to, managing their assets, etc. So what are the building blocks that can take us in that direction? There are essentially 5 I want to go through now. And I will take each one of them one by one to explain how technology can bring more value to the workers. The first one is making sure we have PPE that you can trust. Personal protective equipment is, of course, about safety, and you want to trust and you need to trust those equipments. We come in Honeywell from a world of automotive, aerospace industries where safety is very important. Reliability is part of our engine, it's part of our DNA. And there is a lot we can do in the PPE space to bring all these processes, tools, technologies to make sure that PPE is going to be more robust, more stable, more predictable. Just to give you a feel, if you wear a chemical protection glove, if you wear a fall arrest block, the performance of all these products has variation. Not every single one of them brings you exactly the same level of variation. And that leads to two things: potential risk for the workers, but moreover brings over-designed products, which leads typically to less comfort for the worker, less ease of use, more cost, etc. So there's a lot we need to do and we can do in Honeywell to bring that robustness in our products. The second element is making sure that it's not only robust, but you want to wear it, that you want to use it. And we're really putting a lot of emphasis on what we call human factors. What is the impact of those PPE products on my comfort? What does it mean to me in terms of pressure points, in terms of easiness of don and doff the PPE? It's also about the user experience of people buying the product, of people training for the product, of people maintaining the product, of people recycling the products. So the user experience is a very essential element, and we're really spending a lot of energy trying to bring a new level of user experience, because if you're not just a compliance user, you really want something that brings you value and brings you a good user experience. To give you a feel and an example, I think I have one here. We have this new eyewear technology that you can show at the booth again. The reason why I wanted to show you this one is it's basically the idea of designing a product to make it fit and adapt so that you have more comfort, that you have more performance, that you have a better user experience with your product. And this product really can have several adjustments with the nose bridge. You can really adjust the position of the lens, the angles. You can adjust also the tension that you have. And those three elements not only bring good performance, but bring good comfort, so that when you're going to work, you're going to want to use it. And you're not going to be blocked by the PPE from doing your work. There's a lot we can do about the so-called smart PPE. What does it really mean? There's a lot of technology coming that we can leverage, but not because we want to have electronic in a PPE product, but because it brings value and brings comfort. I will show you a few examples. First of all, there are new technologies in terms of raw materials. I mentioned before that we have special fibers in the company where you can use that for cut protection, for instance. One of the drivers behind those technologies is to try to bring a higher level of cut protection, but without having glass fiber. Why? Because of allergies. It's the same protection level. We already know how to make level 5 protection gloves, but without glass fiber would remove one of the blocking elements of the glove technologies. Motion sensors. We're using that technology today to detect firefighters that are down. We can use that to detect fall in a fall protection product. There is a lot of technology in here that we can use and is already available to us to add new information in the product. Situational awareness is about knowing where your workers are. We have already the capability in the company, and we use that for our gas detection system to know where the workers are, at what point in time, and what is the gas exposition they have. We could do the same for hearing protection. We could do the same for many other protections by just simply knowing where they are and what they are exposed to. Those measurements, I mentioned that before, it's about knowing the level of exposure that your worker is exposed to, measuring it and detecting overexposed scenarios, making sure you can take action and preventive action before it's too late and you've lost your hearing. And I could go, probably not forever, but for a long time, about other features like this, where bringing more technology is going to bring more value to the worker, basically trying to give the worker a feel of what the hazard is, where he is, what is the lifetime of the PPE they're using? Can I still use it, or should I change it? Should I maintain it, etc.? So there's a lot we can do about that, and that's the third ingredient. Just to show you an example, I brought it here as well, and you can see it at the booth. This is a piece of eye technology that's called Quiet Pro. It's a hearing protection device first. It protects you from eye noise, but it's much more than that. And technology must bring more than just the protection. What it brings on top is the ability to, first of all, brings you the protection only when you need it, so that if there's no eye noise, you basically have the ear-through communication like if there was nothing. And second, it's going to bring you information about the fit. Am I using the PPE correctly? Is it really efficient? That's the first thing. It's going to bring me much more value in terms of communication in eye-nose environments, and we use it on helicopter decks, for instance, where it's very noisy to communicate. And on top of it, it's going to record the noise exposure. It's going to record the noise outside of the hearing protection and inside the hearing protection, so that as a safety manager, you can tell what the worker has been exposed to. Has he been exposed to too high noise? Is there any particular prevention measure you need to take? So it's really about bringing technology to bring more than just protection. Moving forward, we also have in the pipeline a lot of other technologies that can be used to bring new solutions to the worker. And we're not anymore talking just about PPE here. We're talking about safety and not just PPE. I just will go through three examples. One of them is about fit. The fit is very important for the performance of the protection, but it's very difficult to actually fit, for instance, in this example, a half mask. We have already, you probably all know about the Kinect technology, for instance, that your kids are using from Microsoft. That gives us a lot of capability. We can capture 3D faces model. We can do the same with the PPE, and by just having some smart algorithms, we can recommend based on your head and based on the model of the PPE, which one of the different sizes, which one of the different models will best fit to your head. And that brings better performance. That saves costs to the companies because it's much faster than doing a real fit test. Another example is detecting that the right PPE is used in the right place by using video analytics. And on the small picture you have here on the screen, it's just, again, software technologies with video technologies that we leverage from our security group. We can easily detect somebody wearing or not wearing safety eyewear. It's not very complicated. The last example I will show more. It's about using, again, some of the technologies not to protect you, but to bring you value from a safety standpoint. This is about prescription eyewear. You have your prescription from the doctor. You will just sit in front of a camera, and you have the ability to do virtual try-on of the different frames. You have the ability to enter your prescription, order the glasses, and bring in a three-step process your prescription eyewear to your door. Moving forward, there are also a lot of technologies we can bring to help manage safety overall in a company. I will again mention some of them. The first one is about compliance management. It's about managing training, your training schedule, your training subscription, your training completion records, who's working where and needs what type of training. It's about managing your PPE spend, defining what is the list of PPE that's been approved for your company. It's about allowing the workers to order those PPE equipment through an e-commerce module. It's about bringing visibility into how much the company spends on PPE and how much they spend in each of those categories. We can, of course, talk a lot about asset tracking, not just asset tracking in terms of knowing who has the equipment, but you can really use the tracking of your assets to manage your inspections, to manage your repairs, to make sure that the workers using that PPE have been trained, et cetera, et cetera. Abnormal situation management is also an area where we have a lot of technologies coming from our HPS business, where you collect a lot of information and you have to detect what's wrong. If you start knowing where your workers are, with who they work, at what time, what PPE they wear, there's a lot you can do. There's a lot you can do to detect that a particular worker hasn't been trained while all the other co-workers have been trained on something. There's a lot you can do to detect that a special dose of a particular hazard is here today and wasn't here yesterday, and that you can detect as well. So all this information that you can collect from those PPE systems, smart PPE, like I was saying before, you then need to process them. So that's going to take us to a new area where instead of managing compliance records in a sheet of paper or in an Excel sheet, managing your incident in a dedicated database, managing your spending through an ERP system or through multiple ERP systems, etc., you're going to have an integrated solution that connects all these pieces together and allows safety managers to better manage the safety of their workers. That's a technology we are already working on today. By bringing all these functionalities, training management, asset tracking, PPE spend, etc., together in a uniform platform, connecting that to a people database, connecting that to an ERP system, connecting that to an incident management system. You bring all these pieces together and you have a solution that really brings a lot of value to the safety. So I will conclude with saying that technology can bring a lot to the safety space. We are today at the very beginning of it. There is a lot we still need to do. There's a lot we need to do to understand those technologies, of course, but also to understand how to best use those technologies for the benefits of the workers, the benefits of the safety managers and the corporations. But we have all these building blocks ready, and those building blocks can bring what is called here an integrated safety solution, which is really one of the fundamental pillars of our safety, culture of safety in Honeywell, together with training, together with all the elements of metrics and education and so on, really brings a new dimension to safety management. And really coming back to what I was saying before, going from just pure PPE protection into services and solutions for safety. All these technologies are in the pipeline. We have to work all together to make it happen, but I feel confident we can get there. I think I'm off the time. Thank you.